Welcome back, guys. Today we've got a Brian Tighe and Friends knife to look at. So this is Brian Tighe's. He's a well-known custom maker. The Brian Tighe and Friends is his mid-tech division company. It's his mid-tech line, if you will. So this is the large tie breaker model that was loaned in by a good buddy, Garey. I just did the unboxing. He likes to buy brand new stuff, send them to me, and I break them in. I don't really break them. That's not the point. He sends them in so I can show them, and then I ship them off to him later. So it's a very cool deal that we have worked out, and I get, generally speaking, all brand new knives. Although there is one that he is sending in that is something that he bought on the secondary market and is having sent to me. I'll review it and then send it off to him. So kind of a cool position for me to be in with Garey. I get to see all of his stuff first before him, which is just kind of, it's kind of interesting to me. I have another buddy in New Zealand, and I have a bunch of his knives here. A bunch, high-end, type of ones. And at some point, we're going to ship them to him, and he hasn't seen them either, other than the videos that I've done of them and sent him some pictures and whatnot. So very cool, very awesome. I am very appreciative to all the people that have sent things in that trust me enough to take care of their stuff and loan it in for a little bit. So let's get right to it. Like I said, Brian Tighe large tie breaker. Very interesting knife. Not at all small. It comes in at 5 1/8 closed. It has a thumb stud and a flipper tab, and we'll talk more about that as we get through it. Nice packaging. It's kind of a cardboard box with some foam stuff, a warranty card, and a little carry bag, nylon, silky type bag. 9 inches overall, and look at that blade. Look at that blade. Freaking awesome. The blade length is 3.879 from the edge of the scale here to the tip. The website says it's a 4-inch flipper. Maybe they measure from... I didn't try to measure 4 inches. I measure how I measure, from the edge of the scale to the tip of the blade. So the edge on this one is 3.728 inches. It is S30V. It is 0.196 thick. So it's not super tiny, slicey, dicey, but it is, super strong. Overall thickness is 0.593, best I can measure, because it is very contoured and sculpted. And it is an integral, which we'll talk about. Weighs in at 6.5 ounces, is a button lock or a plunge lock, whatever you want to call it, and it runs on washers. And when I did the unboxing, it did not drop shut, but having fidgeted with it all day today, it absolutely drops shut and bounces back if you don't get it right. So let's just zoom in on this first off, because you gotta check out this two-tone blade. Awesome, just awesome satin on the flats, and a stone washed, a bead blasted on the hollow grind. Just beautiful. A little bit of finger smudge there. Brian Tighe and Friends markings. Thumb stud and flipper. Nice plunge lock, nice hardware. All titanium. This is one solid piece of titanium for the handle. Single piece. Titanium milled clip, which actually works really well. Just beautiful sculpting. Yeah. Made in USA. Got serial number there. Just a beautiful grind. Awesome, awesome, awesome looking. So there was one issue. When it came out of the box, the pocket clip was a little bit loose, which wasn't a bit, well, it's kind of weird. Basically, in this hole here is a tiny Allen head. So you stick that through, and then on the inside, let's see if we can see that here. Probably not. There is you can see the end of the screw, right? So the clip has kind of a keyhole, a keyway in the back. So you loosen up that screw, the pocket clip kind of slides up and out, and then the screw stays in. So I had to get a little Allen and tighten that down, and it was kind of funky to line it all up, but I got it. It's good to go now. But that, come on. This is, high quality, high dollar knife. The clip shouldn't be loose from the factory. Minor detail. So an integral is just one solid piece of titanium that they mill everything out. They just mill out the pocket for the blade. It's something that has always intrigued me. And I'm really trying to think, this might be the first, I don't remember. I did do another Brian Tighe, and I can't remember. I'll have to go back and look at the video myself if that was integral or not. That was a carbon fiber one from my buddy Alex, I think. But this is the first titanium integral I have had, for sure. And it's just amazing to me how they can mill it all out and make it so perfect out of one big chunk. So that actually puts a lot of pressure on them. If they were to screw up one of these fluted, sculptings, well, then the whole scale's gone. The whole handle, gone. Start over. So, whereas in a more traditional configuration with two halves and a backspacer, if you messed up on one, you could just toss that half and then make a new scale. So, puts a little pressure on, but dang, it's just, I can't stop looking at it. It's just beautiful. And I even like the way they milled in this lanyard hole. Super sleek. I mean, just the attention to detail, the intricacies of the milling is just impressive to me. The ergonomics are okay. I don't think I loved the other Brian Tighe, the custom that I had, loaned in from Alex either. It just, I think they're great. It just doesn't really fit my hand. There's a little bit of hot spot in here. This maybe could have been rounded over a little bit more on this edge, because I think it might be these little points here that just kind of are uncomfortable. The clip is pretty good. That feels good. It actually feels pretty good in a reverse grip. I don't have that same hotspot type thing. So I don't love that. The detent also, I think for me, is a little weak. And I wasn't trying to fire at that time, but it is a little bit weak for my tastes. It does work great. You just need to kind of, and with every knife, when you get it, you may misfire it the first couple of times because every knife's detent is a little bit different, even from the same makers, oftentimes, which is something that always boggles my mind. If they claim we strive for tight tolerance, thousandths and thousandths of an inch, why is the action on every single knife different? But that's a different topic. I absolutely love the blade. The shape, the finish is just awesome. It's sharp, but it's not crazy sharp. So again, for the price, I would have liked it a little bit sharper, and I would have liked the clip to have been tightened. Detent, a lot of times the detent is a personal preference, so I'm okay with that. As far as the feel in the hand, overall, it's fine. But for me personally, if I was going to use this hard use, wouldn't necessarily be my first choice. But it is big and badass. So let's do a couple size comparisons here. So the Sharpie is roughly the size of the handle. Pretty crazy. I mean, I love it. Absolutely love the size of this. You know, that 3 3/4 to 4-inch blades is my sweet spot. This is a Spyderco Delica. This is the one I use to open all my boxes, so forgive anything smudge you see on the blade there. Normally, I reach for my handy-dandy glow-in-the-dark version, but, you know, they're a little bit different on the table today, so I grabbed the wrong one. What else I got here? Well, since we pulled out that Delica, how about the Endura that goes with it? These were dealer exclusives with the VG10 Damascus, which is great. That's why I bought them, although I never used them, but you know, whatever. So Chris Reeve, large sub-benz of 21. Now, Chris Reeve is a company that has the exact same action on every single Chris Reeve I have ever picked up. So it can be done, guys. All right, since we're into kind of like some crazy stuff, odd shaped, how about the Hellraiser? And since we're going big here with the big blades, how about the FIF 23? Basically the exact same size. I think maybe the FIF is just a hair bigger, but generally the same size. So there you have it, guys. This is the Brian Tighe and Friends large tie breaker with the plunge / button lock. Really cool knife. They have them on DLT. I think they're all sold out. I just got this the other day. I went to go look up a couple of the specs. And they looked like they were sold out at DLT. So not sure if anybody else has any in stock. But pretty cool knife for sure. And about the specs, I always measure everything myself. But I do like to kind of read up on what the manufacturer says as far as size, and sometimes it's hard to tell if it's bearings or washers and things like that. So I do like to look that up and kind of read a little bit about a knife. But yeah, I pull out my own calipers and I do all the measurements myself. So, you know, just there you have it. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. I do greatly appreciate it, as always. So have yourselves a fantastic day. Stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see you later. Thanks, guys.